boulevard of the city hall here in the city of Envigado with our police officers. Gilbert, as far as now, how have you seen the tour we've been doing today?
Excellent.
What have you learned about Envigado?
Well, I learned a lot because the truth I didn't know nothing about. Well, the first place that will be city, a lot of people who I didn't know nothing about them.
You didn't know anything about Manuel Uribe Ángel, anything about Fernando González. You didn't know anything about that.
About that people.
And it's important. That's why we really love that the police officers in our country, as you're working on civility, you know more about the history of our country. I suppose you didn't know that José Manuel Restrepo was a historian. Let me call Juliana again because I want to take advantage of Juliana. Juliana, before speaking about Envigado, you know that we are speaking English as second language in Colombia. Our first language is Spanish. I want that Juliana speaks a little bit about history of United States. What is the relationship of that history? I know that there are some differences, but I want that you learn a little bit about the history of the United States and Colombia, okay?
Like a comparison?
Yeah, like a comparison. How is that?
Well, the United States, I guess Colombia got one of... Okay.
Go ahead, you can talk, please.
Colombia got some of its ideas for declaring independence because of the American Revolution. They saw that the United States had declared independence from England, and they saw that they were now their own country with their own laws, and that they weren't letting another country tell them what to do. And so Colombia, or the Great Colombia, or because Colombia was part of, with Venezuela and Ecuador and Panama, and really a great portion was all controlled by Spain. But the Spaniards would charge many taxes, they were unfair with the laws, they would discriminate the people that were born here. And finally, people in Colombia started thinking, well, in France, there is the French Revolution, and the French are fighting against their king to become free. In the United States, the people already fought against their king and are already free. So let's do that too. The American Revolution started officially with the Declaration of Independence in 1776. And that was when the United States declared, we are free, we have no king. From now on, we make our own laws, and we will be a democracy. Originally, the idea in Colombia was to make a similar government to that.
Juliana, could you tell us, because there is a very interesting story about the Mayflower, and you know that the United States was born of religious persecution, and it's very interesting that you know, as we speak English, that we know how is the life in the United States, how were those first years of the Pilgrims. Could you give us a summary of that?
In South America, the people that came here from Europe were mostly people who wanted to find gold and get rich. But in North America, there was no gold. There was winter. It was a very difficult country. So the people that went to North America were going to escape persecution. For example, the Catholics. In England, the Catholics were persecuted. In England, the Catholics were persecuted. The king would kill priests all the time. He would also charge very heavy fines. And so the Catholics got a ship that was called, the two ships, the Ark and the Dove. And they went to the United States, to America, to the new land, and they settled Maryland. And that was a Catholic place where Catholics had freedom to worship. But before that, in 1620, the first group that went there for looking for religious freedom were called the Pilgrims. They went on a ship called the Mayflower, and they founded a city called Plymouth. And there they had freedom for their own religion, and there was where they started celebrating Thanksgiving. Have you heard of Thanksgiving?
Yeah. The turkey.
Thanksgiving is this month in
They already
November.
know why they celebrate Thanksgiving. You already know, because we studied that.
Tell us about it.
Tell us. What is the Thanksgiving about?
Who
What is
wants to talk
that?
about
Who can
Thanksgiving?
remember? Who can remember?
What do we
We
celebrate?
already
on
read
Thanksgiving?
about that. Who can remember?
Just thank God for all the
My
blessings.
goodness, terrible memory, huh?
Okay.
Because the harvest. Remember?
The harvest.
The harvest.
Gilbert, could we remind them what is the Thanksgiving? What is the Thanksgiving about?
As Juliana was saying, well, you know, it was something really special to celebrate because the people came from other countries, so they decided to celebrate Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving, it was something that, well, you know, a very special occasion because that day they begin to pick up the harvest. Well, you know, all the products that they already planted and everything. So that's the reason why they celebrate Thanksgiving.
Okay, let's see right now. I just wanted to make an introduction about history of Colombia and United States to introduce you the three important people. The first priest was Cristóbal de Restrepo. What is the name of the first priest? I'm going to ask you when I finish there. You gotta remember the names of these important people. What is the first name? The first priest? Don't forget. The first mayor, listen, the same year of American independence, the same year, because American independence was on July the 4th, and the same year in Envigado we had a mayor. His name was Manuel Correa. Name of the first mayor.
Manuel Correa.
Name of the first priest.
Cristóbal de Restrepo.
Okay, name of the first mayor. Name of the first priest. Okay, you gotta do like this so that you don't see. Okay, the name. Okay, Lucas de Ochoa y Tirado. It's another of the founders of the city of Envigado. Yeah, one of the founders. And José Antonio Izaza Atuesta is the official founder of the city of Envigado. What is the name of the founder of the city of Envigado?
José Antonio.
No Acuesta, Atuesta. Okay, José Antonio Izaza Atuesta. Okay, you're gonna look. I give you like 5 seconds. Look fast, and the person that I choose, tell me the four names of the people. Okay, look at the names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.